75 years ago, in August 1945, the greatest naval war ever fought came to an end. What had begun in September 1939 evolved into a 6-year global struggle that reshaped warfare forever. World War II at sea was unequaled in geographic reach, forces involved, and long-term impact on naval strategy, technology, and global power. From the icy waters of the Arctic to the Atlantic convoy routes, from the Mediterranean choke points to the vast expanse of the Pacific, the fate of the war hinged on sea power. Was the war won at sea? Many naval historians argue that while soldiers fought on land, victory was made possible by supremacy at sea. Without control of the oceans, Britain could not survive. The Soviet Union could not be supplied. Amphibious invasions could not happen, and global coalitions could not function. Yet, with distance and time, historians today view the naval war more carefully. Campaigns once considered near fatal, such as the Battle of the Atlantic, are now understood with greater nuance. Britain, it turns out, was never quite as close to defeat as once believed. The essence of sea power. At its most basic level, sea power was simple: the safe movement of ships from point A to point B. Its highest expression was far more complex: transporting armies, landing them on hostile shores, reinforcing them under fire. To do this required control of surrounding waters. When control was impossible, navies turned to denial, attacking enemy shipping, disrupting supply lines, and harassing operations. This push and pull defined the entire naval war. The 5 forms of naval warfare. Nearly every naval action of World War II fits into one of 5 categories. 1. Traffic war. Economic warfare at sea. The Battle of the Atlantic is the prime example. German U-boats attempting to starve Britain, while Allied convoys fought for survival. Traffic war was not glamorous, but it was decisive. 2. Decisive battle. The belief that one massive clash could decide everything. Japan built its entire naval doctrine around this idea. From Midway to the Philippine Sea to Leyte Gulf, Midway alone altered the balance of power in the Pacific forever. 3. Amphibious invasion and evacuation. The most complex form of sea power. Dunkirk saved Britain. Normandy broke Fortress Europe. Okinawa opened the road to Japan. Normandy, in June 1944, remains the single most decisive naval event of World War II. 4. Raids and bombardments. Fast, aggressive strikes designed to disrupt and intimidate. From Japanese carrier raids in the Indian Ocean to American carrier attacks off Japan in 1945, these actions stretched enemy defenses thin. 5. Fleet in being. Sometimes a navy didn't need to fight. Just existing forced the enemy to divert forces. German battleships in Norway, the Italian fleet in the Mediterranean, the French fleet after 1940, all influenced strategy without firing a shot. Fuel, the invisible constraint. One of the great paradoxes of the war: Germany, Italy, Japan, and even France often lacked fuel to operate their most powerful ships. By 1942, Italian battleships trained while tied to buoys. The Allies, especially the United States, rarely faced this limitation. Fuel meant freedom. Freedom meant dominance. National naval strategies. Japan, obsessed with decisive battle, inspired by Tsushima, neglected convoy protection, failed to strangle Allied supply lines. This mistake proved fatal. Germany gambled everything on defeating the Soviet Union on land, relied on submarines at sea, failed to seriously threaten an invasion of Britain. Its greatest naval failure came later: inability to stop Allied amphibious landings. Italy focused on the Mediterranean lifeline to Africa. Contrary to popular belief, Italy's navy performed effectively until 1943. Even in defeat, its fleet helped preserve the Italian state. France. After 1940, the French fleet served a political purpose. Its existence helped ensure France's survival as a state despite occupation. The Soviet Union. Geography shaped everything. 4 separate naval theaters, limited fleet power, heavy reliance
reliance on Allied supply, especially through Vladivostok. Naval power supported the army above all else. Britain, dependent on global trade. Its entire strategy revolved around protecting sea lanes, defending imperial connections. Britain survived 1940 by maintaining potential control of the English Channel. The United States, the greatest maritime power of the war, superior in industrial output, technology, fuel supplies, trained manpower. The U.S. Navy mastered global logistics and amphibious warfare on a scale never seen before. The four phases of the naval war. Phase 1, 1939 to 1940. Blockades, Norway, Dunkirk, Britain survives. Phase 2, 1940 to 1941. Italy enters the war. Bismarck is sunk. Air power proves battleships are vulnerable. Phase 3, 1941 to 1943. Pearl Harbor. Axis naval power peaks. Midway changes the Pacific War. Operation Torch teaches the Allies how to fight together. Phase 4, 1943 to 1945. Allied dominance at sea. Normandy, the Philippines, Iwo Jima, Okinawa. Japan is strangled by submarines and mines. Germany is crushed by amphibious invasion. Technology and intelligence. Radar, communications, information processing. The Allies integrated technology faster and better. German and Japanese failures to adapt proved costly. Intelligence helped, but it was the ability to learn and adapt that truly mattered. The human factor. Naval warfare became a societal effort. Innovation often began on individual ships and spread fleet-wide. Navies that learned honestly from failure improved. Those that exaggerated success fell behind. Final truth. World War II proved one enduring reality. Sea power does not fight wars alone, but without it, wars cannot be won. The greatest naval war ever fought was not about ships alone. It was about logistics, endurance, innovation, and global reach. And its story is still being told. Call to action. If you want to know about deep naval history, from Midway to Normandy, from battleships to submarines, subscribe to Naval Front. Like the video if naval history matters. Comment which battle we should cover next. This is Naval Front, where the oceans decide history.